Hi everyone and welcome back to another Canva tutorial video. Well, this one isn't really a tutorial. This is going to be a task I would like you to do, but we're going to start it together. Okay, what I would like you to do is grab Canva, get it open, and then come across to the left hand side and this big yellow circle with the plus in the middle and create something. And what I'd like you to do is just create a flyer. So we'll type flyer into the top bar. You can pick any one of these templates if you would like. You can pick landscape or portrait. It's completely up to you. I'm just going to pick a portrait one. So this is going to be an A4 piece of paper. Okay. And what I would like you to do is I would like you to create a flyer for an event. It could be a real event in your church or in your context. Maybe you have something coming up and no one's made any flyers for it yet. Well, with all of your newfound skills and learning in Canva, perhaps this is the best time to start it. So I would like you to have in your flyer at least one photo, and it could be from Canva or from elsewhere. I would like you to have at least 3 text boxes, separate text boxes. And this could be your event title. Let's just make sure I select all of the text. There we go. Event title. Like when and where. So when and where, including time. And short sentence describing the event. It can be a couple of sentences if you need it to be. Okay, so an event title, the when and the where, and short sentence describing the event. So 3 text boxes, at least. You can have more if you want, but 3 at least. So we need 1 photo, 3 text boxes, and at least 2 other elements. So they can be shapes or graphics. Let's pick a Coke float or a shape. So at least 2 other elements and a photo and 3 bits of text. And what I want you to think about is where you put these texts, how you use the imagery and the shapes or graphics. So you may want to go and get some inspiration from some of the templates. You can do that on the left hand side. So you can see in this one here, let's have a look. Let's have a look at for something that I think would be interesting. Here we go. So let's add a page. So if you look at this one here, you've got a shape here. You've got an image that's on the background cut out of it. And you've got multiple bits of text. So you've got some bold, 2. Then there's another text box there. I can't see what that says at the moment. Commit to a yearly membership, get 50% off. And then they've used a line here to separate some different sections. They've used another shape here to create like a bit of a border at the bottom, and they've got another text box, and then they've got some like little icons to kind of go along with what they're talking about here. So they've got equipment, they've got a picture of a little graphic of a hand holding a dumbbell. They've got personal trainers, and they've got a cartoon buff man, and they've got an always open, and they've got a little symbol to reflect that. And they've got different texts here. They've got different, these are all in Montserrat. That's cool. I like Montserrat. But this isn't. You've got at least two fonts here. And I'd love for you to do at least 2 fonts here. So you want to think about things like text hierarchy. If you don't know what text hierarchy is, I will give you a little clue. Actually, let's scroll down. Text hierarchy is what you do with text to differentiate, like, what is the most important piece of information on this thing. So as you look at this design, what is the thing that draws your eye immediately? I think it's this here, Club Fitness. It's big, it's bold, it's different from any other color around here. And then you've got the image next to it, and you'll see that this color here is very similar. I'd be very surprised if someone didn't pick the color of this based off of the top that this person is using. So if I pick this color and then came in here, it's not changed it all that much. It must have been like a slight shade off. So I think whoever's designed this has then picked a color from here, and then they've picked this color to be like a nice contrast. If you go to Adobe Color, and they spelled it the American way, let's just reject that. If you go to Adobe Color here, you can create a color palette. Come across here and go, don't enable the cookies. And they have this thing called the color wheel. So they don't just have the color wheel. The color wheel is like this really helpful thing that you can do. So say you want to pick an exact color that you want to start with. Let's say we pick from this lady's thing. So let's go into the settings and let's copy this hex code from here. Let's go into color and let's edit this color and paste the hex code in here. So that's our color here. I'm going to lock this color. Okay. And then I am going to generate random based off of this. So it will then, this is my color here, and it will generate random colors that look nice. And you'll see that there's this bluey kind of teal is not too far removed from that. And you can keep generating from this. So you can find a nice color from your image and start generating random. And then once you get like a nice little look, even that's even closer, you can take some of the hex codes of these. So all the hex codes are at the bottom, you can paste them in. Another thing that you can do is create different harmonies, and they've got a spread like different settings here. So you've got analogous, I think that's how you say that, analogous, so it's similar shades all in a row. These all complement each other really nice. They're all different, but you may want to create a color palette based like that with your color where you lock it. Then let's just do that again. Let's lock that. Or maybe you want to you just want 2 colors. You want to do a complementary color. So that's your first color, and then this one here is your last color. And you may want these. You may want to just do 2 colors, but these complement each other because they're opposite sides of the color wheel. Well, then you may want to do like a split complementary. So you might want 3 different colors. And so as you do this around, you'll get 3 nice split complementary colors. Or you may want to do like a triad of colors. So you'll get this kind of yellow, this kind of pink, and then this kind of cyan color. But what you can do with Adobe Color as well is, if you notice, when I come across one of these colors, I can drag it and move. So I can just move it about to see a color pairing that I like, and the closer you go in, the more kind of washed out and pastel-y it is, and the harder you go to the edge, the more primary and like really big it becomes. You can do it with all sorts of these. You can do it with a square one if you want some more colors, you want a variety. You can kind of drag it around and see what colors work best. Or if you want colors within a single like color spectrum, you want monochromatic ones, you want just different shades of purple, say, all along the same line but different shades of it, you can do it like that as well. So I encourage you to come to color.adobe.com and then go across to tools and color palette generator, and that's where you'll find this. You can also, if you find an image, you can upload your image in here, and then you can pick an image based off of your color palette, and then you can copy these and think about that. And then you want to put colors around to highlight different things. You want to create shapes to accentuate or draw attention to specific items within your design. So that's what I challenge you to do, to create some sort of flyer. You can use some of these templates if you would like, if there's one that particularly takes your fancy, but I'd like it to have at least 3 text boxes, 1 image, whether that's you've got it already, or you go out and take one, maybe it's of your church, or maybe it's something like, maybe you're doing like a craft event and you want like a close-up of a craft. You should be able to find something in here. If you search in elements and pictures, you should be able to find some sort of craft. Photos. So if you're doing something like that, there you go. Loads of stuff in there. So 1 photo, 3 text boxes, and at least 2 other elements, and they can be shapes or graphics or whatever it is, and just have a play, see what you can come up with. Have a look at some of these templates that Canva's got available, and also take a look at Adobe Color and pick some different colors. Don't just do black and white or whatever it is. Have a look around and see if there's a nice kind of color palette that you like. I'm fairly sure that there are things in here that you can do to find some colors. Let's have a look. In apps, maybe. Color harmony. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, so it's got some different already pre-made color palettes ready to go. So there's even some tools within Canva to help you pick colors for the event. Maybe you're already very set on colors, and your church branding has, or your organization's branding has set colors, that you may want to use those instead. But I would like you to create some sort of flyer for an event that is real or isn't. 3 pieces of text and 2 other elements, and I look forward to seeing what you make. And if you're watching this and you're coming along to a training event that I'm running, then bring that with you. I'd love to see it. If not, you're doing this afterwards, or you find this video somehow else and you want me to have a look and give any feedback and give you a thumbs up and a well done, please send them to my email, david.harris@blackburn.anglican.org. It'll be in the description as well, as will the link to Adobe Color. So that's what I'd like you to do. Have a little play, have some fun, and I look forward to seeing the results.